So we've done another sneak preview today for, of course, for our French festival La Française. It looks like La Françoise, but you really say La Française. It's a whole long story. I'll tell you real quick. I stole the title from my old friend François Couperin. And it's actually, I put it on my website, so I'll say it again here now. It's actually the title of what Couperin claims was the first ever trio sonata composed in France. And well, I'll tell you the story now for fun. It has nothing to do with what we do today, but I'll tell you now. But you must also come to the first concert, because I will tell the story again, because it's so good a story. Couperin knew, he says, the French well enough, himself being French, I suppose, to know that they liked everything that came from abroad. Right? So, and Couperin himself liked Corelli. Like every good musician around Europe at the time liked Corelli, obviously. So, and he knew that the French liked stuff that came from abroad, especially Italy. In fact, the greatest French composer before Couperin himself came from Italy, really, right? But, so what Couperin did was, he composed this trio sonata in Italian style. Now we'll talk about it in a moment. But an alleged Italian trio sonata. He did an anagram of the letters of his name, right? Now my bet is that he used the word peroncino, maybe. But I don't know. I worked it out. Maybe I think it's... and he claimed that the sonata was sent to him by an actual cousin he had at the court of Sicily, right? And so they performed this sonata as a trio sonata by this Italian composer, Piet or whatever. And everybody loves it, right? Under this fake name. And then Couperin writes more and more Italian trio sonatas, and they all like it very much. Then, finally, he publishes some of those trio sonatas in a collection called Les Nations, the Nations. And this famous first trio sonata, originally performed under an Italian nom de plume, right? He now calls La Française. Now, this could be completely serious, saying, look, this was the first Italian trio sonata composed in French, therefore La Française. But maybe it's a bit more than that. And Couperin had a very interesting sense of humor. And so we think he's sort of, it's very tongue-in-cheek, we think. Like, basically he's saying, I think, in retrospect, how could you ever believe this was Italian? Because today, we listen to the first 3-4 bars, say, well, this is obviously not Italian, like, it's as French as anything, right? So that is why I used La Française, spelled O-I, right, a la 17th century sort of French, but pronounced it La Française. That's why I chose that name for the festival. I thought it was so apt. And of course, we're also going to perform this trio sonata in our opening concert, which should be a lot of fun too. How did I get all there? Oh yeah, so our festival, another sneak preview today. In fact, 2 sneak previews, 2 short, I hope, sneak previews, but both very worthwhile, I think. Play the piano first. This first piece, you'll be able to hear our festival on Sunday, the 23rd of June, at 11:30. And that's a concert with music for kids, and also music played by kids. We'll play a bit more maybe. But it's pretty, right? Don't you think it's pretty? But I'm sure some people know this. Well, I mean, I avoided just before now using the title of the little program that we played this in because it would give it away. The title of that children's concert, if you will, on Sunday late morning, 11:30, the 23rd, right, is Mother Goose, Ma Mère Loi. And of course, Ma Mère Loi was a set, and we've talked about this before here, is a set of only 5, in fact, little fairy tales, well, big fairy tales, little fairy tales, that our composer friend, Maurice Ravel, wrote, in fact, for 2 very little friends of his, right? The little Godebskis, Ina and, I forget, maybe Jean Godebski were close friends of Ravel's, and the 2 little kids, I forget their names. Ravel was like the proverbial uncle, you know what I mean, metaphorical uncle. And he got along very, very well with his kids. Of course, Ravel was a bachelor and so forth. The typical sort of uncle who played with the kids, right? And he loved all kinds of toys and so forth, like the typical sort of crazy composer. And so he loved his kids so much, he was going to write some nice music for them to play on the piano. And of course, Ravel knew exactly what you could do on the piano and what not, and what was difficult and what not. Except, not really. Like, he worked out that you only had to put your fingers there, and then you could play all these notes. But he didn't sort of take into account that maybe the rhythm was difficult. No, child hands is fine. But maybe a rhythm would be difficult, or maybe it would sound a bit weird, so it's still not so easy to play, right? But so technically this music can be played by beginners, even little kids. But musically, this didn't quite work out so well. On the other hand, it is also, in its own way, simple Ravel. Like Ravel, I'm sure, tried hard to make, in a way, simple music. It didn't quite sort of work out. And the whole thing ended, unfortunately, in disaster, because the kids were going to play the world premiere, and Uncle Ravel, Uncle Maurice, was going to coach them, right? And this brought out the worst of Ravel as a musician. So he was going to coach them, and that became a complete drama. Of course, the kids couldn't do what he wanted as a very mature performer in a way, and certainly composer. So that was a total drama. And I feel so sorry for both the kids and for Ravel. You know, he wanted so to be nice with his kids, and it went so terribly wrong. And I think 2 older kids then played the world premiere later, like teenagers or something. So the question is, which fairy tale is this then? What do you see in the music? What do you hear?
I see pastoral stuff.
Okay.
Well, it's more like a journey, like climbing or working its way.
It's a
through
journey,
some long
right?
journey.
Yeah.
But there's a cuckoo in there.
Cuckoo in there, right? Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying pastoral.
What does the cuckoo do?
Saying cuckoo.
Flying journey. Flying? No.
It puts its eggs in other people's nests.
It does, yes, but not in this piece necessarily.
Okay.
It's not just a cuckoo, right? It's 2 birdies. Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing, right? Cuckoo, cuckoo. It's that sort of bird, right?
What the cuckoo does is migrate.
Yeah. But it's that the 2 birds here have the same sort of function. These 2 naughty birds do something very undesirable.
They poop on people.
No.
It's not quite
that's not the problem. there's this big journey as you well here, right? And what kind of a journey is it? A happy journey, not so terribly happy.
Sounds like hard work.
Hard work, maybe.
Yeah.
The journey is not very happy, right? It's sort of,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Other-
Yeah, good.
So the birds do something to these people who are journeying.
What do birds eat?
Worms,
Well, it
seeds,
depends what kind of bird they are.
bread,
Crumbs?
crumbs. Hansel and Gretel. No, that's not
Yeah, but,
not French. is it?
In French, the title is Petit Poucet.
Oh,
Tom Thumb.
Tom Thumb. Yes.
Right? We go out to the forest, all the kids, right?
Yeah.
And little Tommy says, look, very clever, I can always find a way back home.
Yeah.
Yes.
The breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Ah, the birds eat crumbs. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
So it's a journey, very, very good, and not a very happy one. The kids go, but at least he left the breadcrumbs, right? And but then there are the birds, and they eat the breadcrumbs. And so therefore the thing is not so terribly happy, I suppose. Or maybe in the end they come back home or something, right? In some magical way. Whatever.
Okay.
But there it is. Pretty, right?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I tell you one or two small things about this, which are in a way not so very easy for little kids to play the piano. And I mean, the birds are not difficult to play, is that right? They're not difficult to play once you know. But in fact, if you learn this in a traditional way, it's actually not so easy because reading these notes is a heck of a thing, right? And like, there are all these ledger lines over the staff. That is famously difficult, right? And plus, there's the eighth an octave higher. But the fun thing is, where are these notes?
Yeah. What do you mean, where are they?
It's better than that, in fact. They are right at the end of a piano at home at Ravel's time. And even many grands still went only to A. Okay, I'm very old, and my piano teacher when I was little was even older. She was quite old. I suppose, in fact, I'm in fact quite sure, the piano teacher I studied with could have known Ravel. Well, she did not try to, but she could age-wise have known him.
You didn't work with Nadia Boulanger.
No, but no, it was a very ordinary piano teacher. But age-wise, she was so generous. And I learned from my piano teacher when I was little. The highest note of the piano is what? Well, I learned an A. Sometimes, if you're lucky, it goes to a C. I never got this because our piano at home, in fact, went to a C, which was unusual for a upright piano at home, went to a C. But then almost all the pianos I played at since, grands or, pretty much all of them went to C. But my teacher told me something that had been common in her youth, very, very normal. Pianos went to A, exceptionally to high C. Yeah. So when Ravel writes this high A here, that's the highest note of the piano. You couldn't possibly get a better bird whistling than those two highest notes.
That's great.
Yeah, I think it's so wonderful. And plus also like the fun of having the two highest notes of the piano is so nice, right? This is something we miss out on in playing Beethoven or Haydn or Bach. If they have the highest note, we completely miss out on it. The Bach both variations, the D is the highest note, sorry, for that one, right? And in Beethoven, the F or something, the G is the highest note. But we have so much more beyond it. We miss out on that experience. It's a big shame. That's one reason to play on what we now call, a terrible word I think, but period instruments, right? I'm crazy word. But sort of instruments from that time, because you get that experience, right? And others. But there it is a high A. And another thing that is difficult there is the counting business, right? Yeah, not for you, but for the pom, 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 short rest, pom, 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 pom. Now, okay, even if the Kodebsky kids were trained with counting 1, 2, which I'm sure they were, it's still difficult. Right? So there's all this stuff in Ravel that, Ravel, I'm not sure he quite realized how difficult this was in a way for kids.
It probably wasn't difficult for him when he was a child.
It might have been or not. I'm not sure that he went through that same sort of experience as a kid. Ravel was in fact not a very good pianist. I mean, good enough, but not by any means great. And later, when Ravel was supposed to record some of his own music, on record, right? He never stands in, apparently. Apparently, yeah, you buy the record with Ravel's name, but it's not him. All right. But at least this is the beginning of this piece, right? It's the beginning of this sort of saddish journey, right? And it's quite, in some ways, this is the least accessible of the 5 fairy tales. It's a bit sort of, you know, doesn't have to do with this. She's very clever with reading and listening, right? But I used to play this with lots of people many years ago, and it's always so difficult to know where do you come in there, right? And why is that? I do it one more time for you. Quite remarkable, shows her musicality and so forth. You know, she's never insecure about this. Yeah, there's cues as well. But even with those cues, a lot of pianists find it's very difficult to know where to come in. Why is that?
Because of the repetitive.
Yes.
It is worse than that. And if it was, look, if it was this. It would be easy, repetitive, but easy, right?
Yeah.
It would be Ravel, but you can make this better. Look, if it was this. That could almost be Ravel, right? Almost.
I have an error.
In a good mood, yes.
Yeah.
In fact, there is a piece by Ravel like that, and you will be able to hear it in our festival.
Good.
Yes, of course. But it's not like that at all. It's not. It does not have this sort of regular beat. That's the problem. Does anybody want to count? You want to count? Like you do in music? Count.
Let's we all do it together.
There you go. Count.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Lost already, right?
Yeah.
I'll help you a little bit. Count slow.
1, 2, 3, 4. Halfway through.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, of course, what are we looking for counting in music? You play an instrument, you have to count, right?
A regular beat.
Yes. In other words, you're looking for the
Bar line.
bar line. Right. Okay, so about the bar lines. Tell me the bar lines are. Just show me where the bar lines are. Let's do this. Bar line. Good. Now, we do one more time. Well, yeah, because I said I was talking here ago, but not to you. It's different.
No, of course.
But the first one was good. Everybody got the first one, I think. Good. Good, Jenny. Yeah, good, Jenny. No. You get the idea?
So what is the time signature?
Ah. What Ravel does is 2 plus 3 plus 4,
Oh my
5.
Oh,
So it's, in other words, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah. Oh, no wonder the kids found it hard.
So, it's in a way not terribly difficult notes, but there are some, it's in fact a little bit difficult also fingering wise, because there's like, it's always one note too many or too few or something. It's actually, it's a tricky. You have to really consider what you're figuring.
Which-
So that's how difficult it is.
Which is why the way you teach is so much better.
Oh yeah.
Because, yeah, you just sort of do it.
Rather than having Ravel.
No, I mean, to play the Ravel would be...
Yes, no, I mean...
Yeah. Oh, I think
you,
a Ravel to
you,
teach me.
You've
Yeah.
got young Peter, not Ravel.
Okay, after this little advertisement,
Yes, that's great.
that's it. I do one more little thing about this because it's so cute. Shall we do that thing with the business? Okay. How about we start here and then we focus on that. That is my favorite moment in the piece, to be honest, except for the birds, right? Should we do one now? Because it's so nice. The question is, where is the melody? Who's playing the melody? Wow. Because I play a bit louder.
No.
That, right?
No, it was a bit further down. I don't know.
Well, actually,
You're both playing.
you both played
the
it.
melody.
Yeah.
Up
Yeah,
there.
because,
Fantastic. Yeah, very good. Exactly. We're both playing melodies in octaves, right?
Yeah.
In fact, it's her right hand and my lefty,
yeah.
but it's only an octave apart, so it's very close. And the stuff that is a very, very beautiful procedure that Bach wished he could have used, right? But he couldn't have, right? And even Mozart had a hard time with this. It starts happening in Beethoven, and you see it a lot, for example, in Puccini. Right? It's the later you get it. For Ravel, this is, getting a very good possibility. But it's so incredibly nice. Plus the whole thing is so nice and high. Right? I played it one more time for you. And then Ravel does a few other very naughty things. And he is classically enough trained to be aware that it's naughty, and at the same time, he says, that has nothing to do with me. And he's right. You can just hear both play the triplet. A bit louder. Wow. I love that accent, right? Now what's the other beautiful thing he does? He does two in a row, and then he was almost going to do a third, but he doesn't, right? You can very nicely demonstrate it if you have like 4 ballet dancers or something, all going in the same direction. Like the point is that the 4 voices all move parallel, and that is very naughty. If Ravel had been a student of Bach, red pencil everywhere, right? But I'm sure Ravel had his parallels corrected when he was little, right? But as a composer, Ravel could do what he liked. Yeah? And it was an artistic climate, a compositional climate, where he could do what he liked, including parallels, if they sounded good. And of course, they sound fantastic last time. There they are. Now that's because it's in that range, but also it's a different character, right? Right and left hand have different characters for pianists, well for string players too, I suppose. But certainly for pianists, different feel, right? That's why sometimes the composer has you play with your right and left hand there, or with your right hand there. It feels different. It's not the same when you change it, right? A lot of pianists say, well, it doesn't matter. I just play a bit. No, not good. I'm very strict that sort of way, right? So that's Maurice Ravel. The second fairy tale from his 5 fairy tales from Ma Mère Roi, Mother Goose, written for the little Kudetskis. That was such a nice idea. That went so wrong, but I think up in heaven they're so very happy now. And now, Jodie, as everybody knows, you've been working with me a lot over the last few years, mostly as a violinist, violist, and a little bit also as a pianist, which is very nice. And this is your debut as a pianist. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, this is another debut, right?
Yes.
He's another student of mine, a little bit more recent than Jodie, but also a piano student and a little bit vocal work right together.
That's right.
And when I came back from my trip in early May, Katie here said, look, I want to sing this for you. I said, that's so good you were singing at the festival. She said, well, that was exactly what I was hoping for. Right? So we're going to try that out today. And I'm so pleased she's doing this. I couldn't be more pleased. You see this book now? Okay, everybody has like 1 second to guess the composer.
I know.
Oh, you know the lyric. Yes?
Yes, Debussy?
Well.
You need.
It's like a molecule, right?
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
or an atom almost. Like,
So Debussy.
so incredible.
Yeah.
Ravel sometimes does these things too, right? These things. It's in fact it's easy here, but in fact I bet I'll say something about it right away. I bet that this is written for only 2 fingers of one hand, thumb and pinky, because the thumb takes these two together. Nice, right? I learned that from my piano teacher when I was like 10 or something. I thought it was the cutest thing. 1 finger, 2 notes, right? But it's better here. I think the pinky takes these together. Because like if your hand's open, it's like a V, right? Like the Roman 5, V, right? So you play these 2 with the pinky, these 2 with the thumb. Works very, very nicely. And then you have 3 fingers left, I guess, to do other things with, right? And that happens sometimes. But yeah, it's very much a Debussy, a Ravel thing, but I think even more Debussy. one more time. Because what I think is so nice, it's a poem by Charles Baudelaire, oui. Yellow, and the fountain, right? And of course the fountain is a metaphor, tears and all that sort of stuff, right? But what is nice in the poem, and therefore in the music, and not so terribly common with art song, right? Nor in German, nor in French, I don't think, is that the poem has, what do you call it? Refrain? A refrain. Like, there are a few lines that come back, right? Like a song or something. And that is not, is it fair to say, not so terribly common in poetry?
Well, it isn't Baudelaire.
L'invitation au voyage, that's the same.
Okay.
And it's the right word volupté that sort of really
Put it out, yeah.
Right, okay, very good. Yeah, it does happen. And maybe it's more common in French poetry than in German, I don't know. But there it is, that refrain in the poem. And how else could Debussy set that than with sort of the same music? But not exactly the same music, right? Like the piano part is not exactly the same those few times. You want to do it a little bit. For example, if you take the end of the first page, the second page, after that's 6/8 interlude, right? Let's start there first. Yeah, let's have it, because that's the refrain. Bottom of page 140. See that? Yeah, play the bar before. That's busy in a way here. And then it comes back at the very, very end, last page, right? At the last page. Here's the last page. That last refrain, and then a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ending. And it's so Debussy, right? and it's Debussy at a relatively young age still. Like I think, well, not 40. Here's the same thing. in the orchestra, it's a harp, that's 2 notes, right? And it's so hard with the piano, so easy I think on the harp, so hard with the piano. Anyway, but isn't that great singing?
Yes.
Of course, you'll be able to hear both Jodie playing the piano and Cathy singing again in La Française, our festival of French music in Australia's New England. Festival is from the 21st to the 23rd of June. Friday night opening concert here. Please come. We have a lot of people to this fantastic opening concert. Very, very fine road violin player, a friend of ours from all the way from Brisbane here. And recorder players, flute players, 2 harpsichords. Should be a lot of fun at opening concert. Cathy will be singing on Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock. But come early on Saturday because we have all kinds of piano duet, piano solo, harpsichord, organ, flutes. And Saturday evening there's opera and Edith Piaf. And Jodie will play Mother Goose, that movement, in company of others. Sunday at 11:30, the kids' concert. And then Jodie later plays the violin, the viola as well, so in the afternoon. This very, very beautiful piece that we heard last week for the first time here, Judith play. I have a feeling that piece may not have been performed in Australia, maybe never, but if at all, very little. The piece is not very often played. And the Choral Society is coming along for the final concert at Sunday afternoon at 4. With some very, very cool, right, French choral music. Some of it also not terribly well known on this continent, it seems. So please come and bring all your friends. And you can speak French if you want to, but you don't have to, right?
What's in the choral concert?
Il y a de la musique de César Franck, Camille Saint-Saëns, et aussi Maurice Duruflé.
Oui.
Et bien sûr, Gabriel Fauré. Le cantique de Jean Racine.
Oh oui, qui se joue assez souvent en ce moment.
Oui, oui, oui. Ça je joue souvent.
Ouais.
Mais Franck and Duruflé and Saint-Saëns, pieces that are not often heard here.
Which Saint-Saëns is
Saint-Saëns is the final chorus from the Christmas oratorio, which nobody seems to know here. And Duruflé, a very fine little gem, Lord's Prayer. Franck, Psalm 150, which is a fantastic piece, quite compact but fantastic. And we'll have our festival orchestra for those 2 pieces too. A lot of fun.
That's nice.
Festival orchestra.
You will be playing for some of it.
Some of it. And organist for some of the other pieces. Should be a lot of fun. Bring your friends. We have still some posters. If people want to hang posters for us, please do. One or 2. Fantastic. We also have flyers. Our PR person here has flyers if you want to take some. John is going to take posters for Glennin's, I'm sure. And you can take maybe some flyers as well. Thank you so much for coming today. Next week there will be another choice with another sneak preview for our French Music Festival. And it's coming up very soon, scaring me. So, okay.